What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We're back at it with more college football playoff predictions. Last week I made one. You guys really enjoyed it. Got a lot of views. Please hit that like button and subscribe if you really like this type of content. And I have plenty of other type of content on the channel. You know, just a little plug for myself right there at the beginning for all you people who are still here. But we're going to get right into it right away. This last weekend was crazy. Huge upsets. If you see my previous video, my recap, that's going to be up there in the little corner. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. It's pretty uncut, pretty more personal to me, like more you and me talking. I don't really script videos, so just so you guys know, I don't really script my videos. I kind of just like go in it and just kind of wing it. That's usually how I roll. I'm not a big narrative guy. I don't really make big essay long videos. I tried. It's kind of hard. But anyway, let's get back right into it. So we're right here, top 14, big bracket. First team out, first team in. Those kind of things. We're going to do the whole shebang, kind of like ESPN. So we're going to start at the bottom. I have is number 14. I have Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a good team. They're still a good team. They didn't really play anybody. They handle business. I don't think they get rewarded for handling business. They don't think they really move up. There was a lot of shuffling here in the 12th team. I don't think they really handle business. But I do have 14 a tie in my video. I know that's not realistic, but I think that credit is where credit is due. I think the Big 12 should be in the top 14 somewhere, and that's why I have them right there next to Ole Miss. I think the Big 12 deserves more credit as the season has progressed, because as we see, the SEC isn't as good, I put quotes, as what we thought. Are a good conference, but as you see, they've lost to like Vandy, they lose to Kentucky, they lose to Oklahoma, a bunch of random garbage in their conference. And ASU, yeah, they have two garbage losses against like Texas Tech and Cincinnati, but like what makes them different than like Ole Miss losing to Kentucky or Alabama losing to Vandy and Oklahoma? Like, why does Alabama get benefit of the doubt? Why does South Carolina get benefit of the doubt? But I digress. It's a rant for a different day. Next is 13. We have is the U. I know. Don't crucify me in the comments. I know some of these sports analysts are saying that they could lose this week and they'll be fine. I am not one of those people. I do not think that Miami deserves to get put into this 12 team after that performance against Syracuse. This is the same crap every week again with Miami. They go up, they hand their 21 all or 14 all, and they have a chance to put this game away with their elite offense, but they don't. And then their defense just crumbles right before your eyes, and right there in the second quarter just blows up. And then they just lose or they barely win. And you're just like, what is happening? This defense is struggling. I could say that Miami probably could sit around like the 11, 12, but as you can see, these next picks are going to be crazy. Number 12, first team out. Boom. Alabama, the Crimson Tide. And you're probably going to yourself, Alabama? Where the heck is South Carolina? South Carolina, excellent performance against Clemson. Really put it away there with that interception. And yes, I value the head-to-head. I know South Carolina lost to both Ole Miss and Alabama, and they have the same record. The head-to-head should matter. Yes. I hear it. I know it. I preach that sometimes. The head-to-head does matter. But in this situation, I think that South Carolina since that loss against Ole Miss, has become essentially a different team at this point. They're an elite team. And I think they should be the first one in. I think they have performed really well in these last like 4 or 5 weeks or whatever, versus like Ole Miss or Alabama, who are kind of crumbling near the end. South Carolina has excelled, and I think they deserve that. I think they do deserve to get in over like Alabama or Ole Miss. That's not me being an Alabama hater or Ole Miss hater. I know I do in with other videos. I do become like a hater. I do actually think that Clemson was a good win for South Carolina, and South Carolina did show that they had a good offense, had a good defense. And these last few weeks, they've been handling business, like I've been saying for weeks. Just handle business out there on the field, and you will be rewarded. Unlike Alabama, Ole Miss, yes, they handled business last week, but have they handled business the last 4 weeks, last month? The weather has been changing. It's getting colder. You got to be able to perform in all elements of the environment. Next, number 10, Boise State. We got Boise moving up, I think, one spot. I think they're 11 in the CFP right now. Moving up one spot. I don't think they'll be able to move up any farther, like I've been saying for weeks now. Even with the win against UNLV is like 22. They'll probably be like around like 20, 21 at the end of this. But even if they win this, I think the highest they'll get would be number 9. And I don't think it really matters in this point, because Boise has essentially, if they win out, they have guaranteed their spot as 4, especially if the committee doesn't move ASU into this top 14, because I could see them moving them just to 15. And a win against Iowa State isn't like the best record standing win right there. So I think that Boise can pretty much guarantee their 4 seed with a win against UNLV this weekend. Next at number 9 we have is Indiana. Indiana moving up 1 spot. There's a lot of just like couple shuffling. You're really here to see what happened at the top 7. And I know, I get it. Indiana handled business 66-0 against Purdue. Not much of an accomplishment, but it's still an accomplishment nonetheless. Highest ranked ACC team is next. SMU undefeated in ACC play. And congratulations, first year in the ACC. Undefeated. They only lost right now is to BYU by less than a score, and that was early in the season where SMU was trying to find themselves. And I think SMU is one of those teams where you never saw this coming, just like ASU, you didn't see it coming, where they have a chance to make it. SMU joined the ACC, and you're going, they're going to water down the conference, like Clemson and Florida State said. They're going to make the conference worse, but in reality, they're making the conference better. They're the only team right now in my list that's in the top, that's in the 12 team. And they're the only team in the ACC that's undefeated, so I think they're better than the conference. They came from Group of 5, build big rebuild. I thought it was a rebuild year, but I guess not. Number 7, we got the Buckeyes. Buckeyes moved down 5 spots. Yeah, 5 spots. And I think that the top 5 is I think the top 5 is very upper echelon teams as of right now. And I think that 6, 7, and 8 could probably be interchangeable, in my opinion. I know SMU. Who do they play? Who do they play? I get that. You hear that a lot. Who do they play? They played a freaking schedule that was gifted to them by the conference. So yeah, they're doing well. Next, number 6, the Volunteers. Boom. Yeah, I think Tennessee, Ohio State, and SMU could be anywhere into that 3 gauge right there. SMU is pretty much, if they win their conference, guaranteed the 3 seed. So it doesn't really matter where they're placed. All this does is really just help with the seeding process of who's getting played in the first round and stuff. Now we're looking at the top 5. And you're probably going, Oregon's number 1, guaranteed, probably. Who knows, maybe. Then Texas number 2, and then Penn State. But then where's Notre Dame and Georgia? Who's getting put there? Boom. Georgia number 5. Easy, light work. I think Georgia's a good team. They handled business, and I don't think they should be rewarded for their performance against Georgia Tech. But the only reason they are is because Ohio State lost. They moved up 1 spot. Notre Dame number 4, same situation. They played a busted USC team and destroyed them. 2 pick six. That's crazy. 2 pick six. One for 90-some yards. Another one for over 100. Right there in the end of the game. Really sealed in the deal. Really just rubbed the salt in the wound for that Trojan freaking offense. Number 3 we have is Penn State. Penn State hasn't played anyone either, but they're handling business. As the committee has been saying, you just gotta win your games. You just go every week and win your games. And they dominated Maryland. There was a moment there in the first quarter where Maryland was up 7-0, and people were like, "Oh my God, Penn State's in shambles." There's a real possibility that Indiana's going to get in the Big Ten championship game. No, that's not going to happen. Maryland sucks. They're terrible. And number 2 and number 1 we have is Texas and Oregon. I think it's going to be a great weekend. I think this week is going to really be great. I don't know. I'm not a huge believer or a strong believer in what some of the people are saying is that this conference championship shouldn't matter towards this ranking system, other than you get your guaranteed bid. But if you're already in the 12 team, then it shouldn't really affect you. I don't think so. Think of this. If SMU loses to a Clemson team that isn't even in this list, should SMU stay in? Maybe not. They're sitting around 8. They lose to probably a 17, 18, maybe 20 ranked Clemson team. Then Clemson gets in. Who's getting bounced? Who's getting bounced for a SMU team that just lost? Or I guess the argument could be fine for Texas, Georgia, Oregon, Oregon, Penn State. These teams are really, really well. But think about the SMU or the boys. These people sitting around the tail end. I don't think it should. If you're gonna grant the higher echelon this prowess, you have to give the lower echelon this prowess as well. But I just don't think it would happen. So that's just my opinion. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. Like I said earlier, we make tons of videos. We make 2 to 3 videos a week. We try to make more, but I have a full-time job. It is what it is. Such is life. Peace.